Hello, everybody. This is Steve O'Reilly with SkinnyPost.com, and I'm luckily joined today with Michael Huff of the Oakland Raiders. Michael's coming off a big win against the division rival Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to sit down and talk a little bit about Oakland Raider football. Thanks for joining us today, Michael. It's a pleasure to have you on the site.
All right, glad to be here.
All right, let's get started. You guys are hot right now. You won 3 straight. You know, you've beaten 2 division rivals. You beat the Broncos badly in their own yard, and then at home you had a big win against the Chiefs. How do y'all feel right now in the AFC West? What are your thoughts about the division, and what's the team's thinking right now?
We feel good. I mean, we know that the main thing is, winning division games, because we know that to get to the playoffs, you got to win your division. And, we're sitting 3-0 right now in our division. So the main thing is kind of keep building on that and kind of go from there.
Now, you guys right now are in your bye week. You have a week off, kind of get healthy and rest up a little bit. And then after the bye week, you got a little tough road, so to speak. You got the Steelers and then the Dolphins and then another division game against San Diego. Are you guys taking it a week-by-week approach, or you know that you're going into a tough portion of your schedule? I mean, what's the mindset there as far as coming out of the bye week?
We know it's going to be tough. I mean, Pittsburgh's a great team. Miami's a great team. Obviously, San Diego's a great team. But, I mean, right now we're looking forward to Pittsburgh because we know that, for – I guess teams will take us seriously. We know we got to win those games. We got to beat the Pittsburghs. We got to beat, the Baltimores and those teams like that. So we're just kind of taking it one game at a time and, just kind of building that.
Now, what are some of the things that you guys, have you talked about or maybe had some discussions privately with some of your friends? What are some of the approaches that you're doing differently this year as opposed to maybe years prior? Because right now you're playing well and you're getting over that hump and that hurdle that's kind of, the last couple years have been tough on you. I'm, willing to bet you'd admit that. So what are you doing differently? Is there anything going on? Is the locker room different? Is the coaching approach different? Is there anything that the fans can point to say, hey, this is why they're getting it done?
Really tough. I mean, obviously we've, always had talent, but I think, Coach Cable just brought just a winning, mentality this year and just focused on, going back to fundamentals, going back to details and just kind of every man do their job and not, go out of the job, do anything, out of ordinary that they wouldn't do before. And, I mean, that's what we've been doing. Just everybody's been doing their assignment and playing their roles, and, it's been working.
Now, the running game for you guys has been really, really good this year. McFadden especially, in my opinion, he's looked phenomenal. I mean, you guys seem to run left on that toss or off tackle left side and just powering down the field. What is it about McFadden do you think that he's done differently? Is he has a different approach? He looks a little bigger. Has he gained a little weight and maybe a little muscle bulk, or is it just, he's coming into his own as a pro?
Really just coming into his own. Some people take a few years like myself. It took me, 3 years to actually, get in the groove and get going. But, he's always been a physical talent, a freak out there. But I think this year he's kind of putting it all together. And I think, Hugh Jackson's, helping him a lot just with the offense and just play calling and things like that. And like I said, we still got, Michael Bush out there, got the little 1-2 punch. So I definitely think, having that helps him out.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about you personally. You have kind of moved around a little bit in the secondary. You've played almost every position as a defensive back. You played a little cornerback this year when guys have gone down. What does that do for you as a pro as far as knowing different positions and kind of getting a feel for where other guys need to be? Or does that help you, or do you have a preference as to where you want to be on the field, or do you just do whatever you need to do to get it done?
I definitely think, going back to Texas, I played, corner, strong safety, free safety. So I think back then they preached that the more you can do, the more versatile you are and the more you can just, kind of help out the team. So I kind of brought that approach to the NFL. And, obviously playing free safety, you're kind of the quarterback of the defense. So it's like you need to know what's going on. You need to know what the D-line's doing and kind of know what the linebacker's doing and who has what gaps and just kind of all those little things that goes along with being the quarterback of the defense. And I think just, knowing that, it just helps me be a better pro.
Now, the middle of your defense in your base 4-3 has gotten real good over the last year or so. You brought in guys like Seymour. You drafted Rolando McClain. Have you noticed a difference playing back there, watching those guys up front do their thing? Has it made your job easier? Do you find that you have a little bit more openness, so to speak, to get into gaps and make tackles because those guys are occupying blockers?
Oh, definitely. I mean, especially with Richard Seymour. I mean, he's probably the best D lineman, maybe one of the best defense players I've ever seen in my life. I mean, just watching the film on Mondays, just the things that he does to people, and not just against anybody. He's going against Pro Bowl guards, Pro Bowl centers. He's still just making plays out there, and I think that's helping. Tommy Kelly. He's having his best year this year, and Rose still, Rolando's still young, but I mean, he has those two in front of him, so he can just kind of roam out there and just make plays. So I definitely think having that great of a D line, and that great of a middle linebacker just makes our job a lot easier on the back end.
Yeah. Now, everybody knows that Al Davis loves speed. I mean, that's kind of been, everybody talks about it during draft day. He likes to get guys that are fast and can move around and do things with their speed. Have you noticed now that you guys are kind of blossoming and getting a little bit more mature in the league that speed is really helping you out, and it's kind of a harnessed speed, so to speak, now that guys know where to go and what to do? When you play somebody, you think there's just nobody that's going to outrun us. There's nobody that's going to be faster than us because, up and down the lineup, you guys got speed to burn at almost every position.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that's one thing you can't coach is speed. So, I mean, we got probably the fastest team in the NFL, and I mean, that's how we've always wanted. That's how it is. So, I mean, obviously, the speed can only get you so far. The rest is fundamentals. The rest is, kind of coaching and little things like that. And I think this year we're just kind of putting it all together, and people are just making plays.
Yep, absolutely. Now, you personally, you've had a couple sacks this year. Is it something that Raiders fans should get used to seeing you up around the line of scrimmage and getting after the quarterback, or is it something that you like to do? Do you like getting up in the box and getting up near that line of scrimmage?
Oh, yeah, I love blitzing, especially when the O-line, the running backs don't really expect us to come. Because a lot of times, the secondary, especially in our defense, we don't really blitz much. We have a great pass rush from our front four, so we let them do all the work. So when the safeties do blitz, it kind of surprises them. I mean, a lot of times we come free off the edge, or we may have to, be like a little running back or something. But I mean, I love blitzing, I love making plays behind the line of scrimmage.
Talk to us a little bit about what it's like playing with Nnamdi Asomugha back in the secondary. I mean, that guy is just, I think he's probably the best corner in the league, but he's not flashy. He's a guy that's a great community guy. He does a lot of things for people. He's a good person all around. And he kind of goes under the radar because he's not one of those everybody look at me kind of guys. Mm-hmm. And I don't think the rest of the country really knows how good he is. Talk to us about someone who's played next to him for a few years, how he helps you and just watching him work. What is that like week in and week out?
It really helps me a lot. I mean, he's the smartest football player I've ever been around. My whole career, going back anytime, he's just a smart guy out there. And I think playing safety at Cal and, playing safety when he first got to the Raiders, I think it helped him just have just a better vision of what's going on in the whole defense. Like I said, he was a quarterback of the defense at one point. So when he's out of corner, he's still reading formations and still, kind of reading splits and looking at personnel and kind of those things. So I think he's not really just a man corner. He can go out there and line and play zone, play man. So if we had to put him at safety, he could do that now. So I think he's a student of the game and just knows everything going on, when it's going on out there.
Yeah, all these pieces are coming together, and you watch big plays are being made at opportune times. Like Jacoby Ford and that kick return. I was saying to the guy I was watching the game with, man, that could have been the fastest I've ever seen a guy, break through a line. I mean, he was gone. And those big plays at opportune times are really helping you guys out now, and it's nice to see. I mean, I like to see teams that overcome adversity and have people always, try to put them down, but you overcome it, you stick together, and you get it done. And, I think that, sky's the limit for you guys now, especially in the AFC West, because there's not that one team that's just, dominant. Everybody's pretty good, but, there's some that are struggling. And, it's good for you guys, and I'm happy for you. And tell me a little bit, though, about what it was like putting up a 59 burger on the Broncos in their own backyard. When you guys were walking off the field, was it like, you got to be thinking, wow, that was fun, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely fun. I mean, anytime you win a game, it's fun. Anytime you win a game against a division opponent, it's fun, especially if you win, a game of that magnitude on the road in their house, by that much. I mean, it was just a great day. Like I said, just all aspects, offense, defense, special teams. We all just played well that day. And, I mean, that kind of shows that when we play Raider football, we can allow them to play with anybody. And, like I said, obviously it's the NFL, so that doesn't happen much. I don't think we were expecting it, to be that big of a win. But I mean, we take it any way we can get it.
Absolutely, especially on the road. And it'll be a fun game to watch when they come into your backyard because they're going to want a little bit of payback, and you're going to show them that hey, we're going to take both games. So that'd be a fun one to watch. I'm sure there'll be a lot of hard hits and good football action there. Michael, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and talk to us. Before I let you go, I just have to ask one question. A mutual friend of ours wanted to know, what's up with Midnight? He said it's the world's. He said it's the world's ugliest dog, and he wants to know what's going on out there with that dog, Midnight.
Midnight's my little black pug. You know, everybody makes fun of me because I have him, but I love him. I mean, he got those little big eyes. He got the long tongue, but I mean, that's kind of like my road dog. I'll take him everywhere with me, and you know, he holds down the fort while I'm not here. So
man's best friend.
Of course.
Well, thank you so much, Michael, for coming on and talking to us. We wish you the best of luck in the second half of the season, and enjoy your bye week. And then we look forward to watching you guys play against the Steelers. And best of luck to you for the rest of the way.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, well, I'm Steve O'Reilly, and that's Michael Huff of the Oakland Raiders, and this is SkinnyPost.com. We're giving you the skinny 24/7.